Datadog's been pushing to shift left and shift right? And when they talk about the core of what built Datadog was observability, and observability was the three pillars, I think push left is happening a lot more, which is on the security front. SIEM, processing security signals out of existing data, out of traces, out of logs, building patterns for SIEMs. And I think that makes a lot of sense. But what we haven't started to really see as much is if you start to go the other direction and you start debugging code or resolving security incidents within the code base itself, that's a great use case for generative AI, because as soon as you detect a vulnerability or you detect a library or you detect something being used that shouldn't be included in that code base or in that artifact, suggesting how to fix it is a very good use case for generative AI, right? The problem is you know how to rewrite a class, you know how to rewrite a library or include a newer version, and all you got to do as a Datadog user is accept it, right? So here's the problem, here's a suggested resolution, yes, do it or no, don't. The more of that we start to see, I think the more we'll go back to the productivity gains of a developer, right? You're not replacing a developer, you're helping them deploy code and resolve security vulnerabilities faster. And I think that's the IDE plugin that Datadog's been starting to work on. From a platform perspective as a whole, what I'm most excited about is App Builder and workflows. I think App Builder still doesn't have the right level of attention that it deserves. I think once we figure out how to really use that, it's going to open up a lot for Datadog. It's going to make Datadog a platform instead of just a tool. It's going to allow users to build a lot more on top of the platform. It's going to allow us to build products that are not necessarily targeted towards observability. It's going to allow us to open up wallet share to different users within an organization. You can solve issues for customers by having a customer service front end. You can solve issues for finance by exposing consumption data within Datadog. So there's going to be a lot of different areas that once we're able to start building our own apps on top of the platform, are going to make it super, super interesting, I think. Another component there is as soon as that becomes available on the marketplace, it opens up a whole new revenue stream for partners that's going to be interesting, right? Because if you already have apps that utilize similar data, you can just port them over and sell them on Datadog. And I think we'll see more of that over the next couple of years. It's not an ecosystem yet. I think it's just starting to become a platform. But I do have no doubt that it will become an ecosystem very quickly. And that's when you see all sorts of great ideas start to get built on top of Datadog, given the data that they have from like spans and traces and logs and telemetry, RUM. There's so much really, really rich data that can be used for a lot of different reasons. Like it could be used for A/B testing on marketing. It could be used for security, which they're already doing. It could be used for tuning infrastructure, cutting costs. And the way we can use that data, I think there's so many different ways that we just haven't thought about that engineers or users are going to start to come up with, the more they realize it can become a platform. And that's when Datadog becomes an ecosystem. So there's a lot of runway for where Datadog can go, in my opinion. We've been seeing so much traction and so much adoption across our customers that it's getting to a point where you almost need to manage some of that toil within Datadog. After about 2 years of doing that, we've picked up some patterns around like dashboards, notebooks, monitors that are like stale and not being used. We launched Managed Datadog, which within its first quarter has outpaced our whole marketplace revenue stream, which is really exciting because it means the market really needs what we're delivering and we're just tweaking that and onboarding more customers. But Managed Datadog is definitely something that's worth checking out from making sure Datadog is healthy, especially for larger organizations with thousands and thousands of daily users on the platform. It can get noisy, it can get messy, and we take on the ownership of making sure that the platform is clean, it's loading quickly, your data's there, and it's not starting to get sluggish with the continued adoption that Datadog's getting across organizations. So that's worth checking out as well, Managed Datadog. I don't think Datadog's moat has shrunk in any way. If anything, it's growing. I think Datadog's investment in areas outside of observability makes it a really exciting platform for the next 4, 5, 6 years. There's almost parallels between like some of the large SaaS platforms today and where Datadog is from like 5 years ago. And that's super, super exciting. I think we're going to see Datadog become a much more relevant platform within organizations beyond just the engineering mindshare in the next few years, and super bullish on the direction the team's headed. And I think it's going to be exciting launches and releases in the coming few years.